It is beautiful if you're not facing Max Scherzer in Washington today. What a day for baseball. Max is going to keep on building on what he's done here. He was brilliant 5 days ago. And the Nats, yeah, get your program. Hoping he does the same thing here today. Bob and FP, welcome. Max dominant last time out. You never know how a guy's going to be after a game like that. But if anybody can go back-to-back with brilliant efforts to stop a losing streak, he's the guy.
Yeah, well, speaking of brilliant efforts, we're going to take you down memory lane and show you all 6 complete games that Max has thrown as a Washington National. Remember this one, June 14th at Milwaukee, 16 strikeouts. Carlos Gomez had a 7th-inning single. Then you look at the Pirates. That was a complete game. Jose Tabata leaned into the pitch and broke up the perfect game. And then this one, a 17-strikeout performance at New York. It was all fastballs that day by the Mets. This one against the Tigers history, 20 strikeouts, no walks. And then the one right here against the Giants, you remember he was on that roll in the middle of summer last year, 11 strikeouts, 5 hits. And then this one against the Braves last time out. So get this, in these complete games, this is a stat of the day, 84 strikeouts versus 1 walk in Max Scherzer's 6 complete games as a Washington National. Unbelievable.
Yeah, when we came up with that number this morning, I couldn't believe it. So maybe double-digit complete games. You never know what's going to happen when you're at the ballpark and Max is pitching. And even when he gets on base, he might make something very unusual happen, like a stolen base the other night after going the opposite way.
He likes the run to the tag offense. We'll see if they hold him on today. It's going to be fun.
First Nets pitcher to ever swipe a base, and it's Scherzer trying to stop another losing streak against the Rockies straight ahead. For game 3 of this 4-game series. It is gorgeous. 78. Flags aren't doing a whole lot, and it's a bright sunshiny day to face Max Scherzer. Ian Desmond, 271 career at Nationals Park. He's just 1 for 8 in this series. He's 0 for 3 against Max career. They get Charlie Blackmon back, 282 his average. They put him in the 3-hole because Nolan Arenado is going to go ahead and start serving his 5-game suspension. Scherzer, interesting, 1 4 career against Colorado.
I see the arsenal of Max Scherzer. Veteran move by Nolan Arenado. Taking a suspension against Max and Steven Strasburg. But guys like that don't duck anybody. We're just having fun with it. Last start, you know about Max, the complete game 10 strikeout performance against the Braves. Just 2 hits in that one. 9th career complete game, 5th career shutout, and 66th game with 10+ Ks.
Fastball is up. We're underway right on time at 105. So DJ LeMahieu 4 for 5 on Thursday, hitless last night, but he's done some damage and he's 3 for 3 career against Scherzer. Slider in there. Gabe Morales has the plate today. The crew chief is over at first. There's Jerry Meals, Ben May second base, Ron Culpa third.
Here's your Nats defense today behind Max. Moises Sierra gets the start in left. Brian Goodwin a late scratch with a sore wrist. Wilmer Defoe at second today, and Matt Reynolds gets the start at third.
Swing and a miss. And maybe we should get excited today every time there are 2 strikes on a Colorado hitter.
Well, 4-pitch see to start this one. Little cut on that fastball at 95. Max coming out throwing flames early. Look at the ball just moving away just a little bit from DJ LeMahieu, and at 95 he couldn't get there.
Scherzer now 28 strikeouts, 3 walks in 20 in a third innings. Gerardo Parra next, and he's had a good series. Couple of runs on Thursday. He's 4 for 8. Reynolds respects his speed. He's in the baseline between second and third, and that's low.
You know, of those 6 complete games we just showed you in the Open, I'm trying to decide which one I thought was the most dominating. And I'm leaning toward the one against the Mets where he struck out 17 over the one against the Tigers where he struck out 20. Does that make any sense? Because that game was the second game of a doubleheader. It was the second no-hitter of the season for Max. And he struck out everybody with fastballs that day. He wasn't tricking anyone. He was like, here's my fastball, hit it. I know the 20 strikeout one was history and fun for all of us, amongst all the other ones we talked about. But I'm leaning toward that one against the Mets as his best performance I've seen.
Yeah, consecutive strikeouts in that game were crazy.
Although the one in Milwaukee on June 14th with Jose Lobaton catching, it was fastball away and the slider off the fastball to righties. And Carlos Gomez had a bloop single, and there wasn't one ball barreled up in that game, not one ball off the barrel. So I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves.
Interesting. 4 pitches to strike out LeMahieu, 4 pitches to walk. Gerardo Parra and Charlie Blackmon back in their lineup. 11 for 39 in 10 games. His back was bothering him, then his right quad. Rockies say the injuries were not related, so they're glad to have him back in there. Blackmon 3 for 10 career against Max. Parra has a pretty good lead, time given.
Call time again. Yeah, you're taking a while.
By the way, I pulled the scorebook from October 3rd of 16, just in case you wanted to look at those 9 consecutive strikeouts late in that game. I mean, who does that? Oh, 1 runner going, and a high fly ball to right. Bryce Harper feeling his way to the scoreboard, and that ball hits the very top, and that's a home run for Charlie Blackmon. His first at bat back, and he puts the Rockies on top.
Well, you can tell he's nursing that quad just even in his home run trot. So welcome back, Charlie Blackmon. A location mistake, it looked like, supposed to be away and kind of came right back down the middle, and Blackmon, a good low ball hitter, catches it out front. And check out the lift. And you're wondering, was this one going to carry out of here? And there's your answer, 2-0 Rockies.
Second homer given up by Max. Carlos Gonzalez, the hitter. Just enough to get out of here. Rockies tied for the league lead in home runs with 21 now. And that's up and in to Cargo. 3 for 12 against Scherzer. Every hit of those 3 a home run.
Yeah, so far Max is doing that thing where he's a little bit quick and he's pulling the fastball across the plate. He's wanting it outside the lefties and he's pulling it back in.
Tardy on 94. And Wilmer Defoe a good 30 feet out into right field. Swing and a miss on 97, tailing away. 2 down.
Velocity a little higher than you see from Max early in the start. Usually he'll sit at 92 to 94, and when he gets runners in scoring position, we'll go for the reach back 95 to 97. But early on here, it's coming out free and easy. That was 97 miles an hour to Cargo.
Ian Desmond's in the number 5 slot today. Got a base hit off the pitcher's glove 2 nights ago. 1 for 8, and he's 0 for 3 against Max. That's perfect to the inside edge.
96. I mean, he's sitting between 95 and 97 after a 102 pitch complete game.
And right in there. Desmond frozen. So a mixed bag in the first inning. A walk, a homer, and 3 strikeouts. Box are in the field. Charlie Blackmon's giving them the lead. So the Nats need to get some hitting going today. Matt Adams has one of the best slugging percentages of any hitter at Nationals Park, .710. So he's in that number 4 spot today. Brian Zimmerman on the bench. And the Nats face the right-hander John Gray, off to a rough start. 1-2 with a .563 ERA. But over the last year or two, he's been really good on the road.
You see the Arsenal, 6'4", 232, 26-year-old from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Took the loss last start on the 9th against the Padres. Gave up 7 runs on 10 hits. Struck out 6 Padres, walked 1. Fastball averaging 96 this year.
Trey Turner in the series, 1 for 7 with a walk.
That's when you want to be fair if you're
I
Trey
was
Turner.
just thinking the same thing.
Here's the Rocks defense in game 3 of the 4-game set. Parra, Blackman, Gonzalez the outfield. Story, LeMahieu the double play combo. McMahon, Desmond the corners. And Walters doing the catching.
Yeah, so they have a 3-man bench. Only 2 players, Mike Tauchman and Pat Valleca, other than their catcher, Chris Iannetta. Over at third base today as Ryan McMahon takes care of that. I don't think Nolan Arenado would have started serving his suspension had Charlie Blackman not been ready to get back in their lineup. So that's 1 bat in, 1 bat out for Colorado. Rockies will play here tomorrow and then go to Pittsburgh for 3, so Arenado will miss the rest of that road trip. In there for a strike to Wilmer Defoe. Six for 24. 5 of those hits from the left side.
Coming in hot. Wanted it in there. That was a good shot at Tony Walters, almost setting up behind Wilmer Defoe.
A little bit up, 1-2. So Wilmer in the series 0 for 4 with a walk. He is 2 for 4 career against John Gray, who's 21-18 career, making his 62nd start. In there. Now it's Gray against Harper. So Max, first pitcher since Tom Seaver to strike out 10 and give up no runs in 2 of his first 3 starts. Rocky pitchers, best in franchise history as far as giving up hits so far. And the Nationals bullpen, 11.5 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. Harper 1 for 2 against John Gray. And a stat that I saw this morning that I could not believe. Bryce Harper is 0 for his last 18 against Colorado pitching going back to last year.
Well, we talked about superstitions a lot last night. I did my part. I drove a new way to the ballpark. And I read the tees.
I drove a new way to the ballpark today.
Nice.
Came the same way, and it took 4 times as long because the 14th Street exit was closed, and so was the 12th Street Expressway. So it was kind of a different way to get to the ballpark. Had a lot of time to think about this one today.
Yeah, there's too many people in DC. They all need to go home.
1-1 in there. 1-2. Bryce career 1-2 against Gray.
It's a cherry blossoms every year. It's an 8th grade invasion, and then everybody comes from everywhere for the cherry blossom. So for 2 weeks, don't drive.
I was wondering why they blocked off those 2 exits, though.
They did the parade today, the cherry blossom.
Was that today? Okay. Yeah. John Gray, interesting. Last 10 road starts, he's given up 3 runs or fewer. The only guy with more is pitching for the Nats tomorrow. Steven Strasburg's done that 15 consecutive times. 1-2 to Harper, target in. And Bryce fighting one off, and that will bust up that 0 for against the Rockies as Harper heads to second base with his first double of the year. 150 career with that one.
We'll show you the sequence from John Gray to Bryce Harper. Nice job of hitting right here, going the other way. Almost an inside-out swing. Foul ball, staying alive, and then this. Boom, fastball in, drives it the other way. And I believe the first time he's been the recipient of there goes the no-hitter this year.
So Mercedes-Benz on that pitch sequence, and here's Matt Adams, 2 for 5 career against Gray with a couple of RBIs. Rocky's not in a total everybody on the right side shift, but DJ LeMahieu is about 7 or 8 steps into right field. Great view of it from our camera right next to us up here.
That's my forehead cam.
Nice. Sit still for that. That was good.
Thanks. Ooh, that's his pitch in his zone. Get me loose swing. Did he feel something after that swing? This is the one that usually goes far for Matt Adams, and had a little giddy up at 96. Both pitchers coming out throwing BBs today.
Rocky's got 2. The Nats looking for 2. And it's 1-2. Adams 5 for 23 as a net with 2 homers. And this one will be close. It's a long run for McMahon and about 5 or 6 feet into the seats.
So these are the white stars and stripes jerseys the Nats got on today. They're 0-1 in these on the season. I like the curly W with the stars and stripes in it. It's a good look.
Adams reaching to stay alive.
Perfect day. Absolutely perfect. Good take. That's a tough one for a hitter, Carp. It's right up in your eyes. You see the ball like a beach ball, and it's 96 and you offer at it. You can't catch up. It's almost impossible, especially for left-handers, and usually better low ball hitters.
So Adams has had to battle back to even the count here.
Fighting.
Yeah, Gray's given up 1 hit, and he's already at 20 pitches here in the first inning. Max had to throw 19 to face his 5 guys. Now he's battled to a full count. Gray having to deal with 4 consecutive left-handed batters. A couple of them switch hitters, Defoe and Wieters, who's on deck, and then Harper followed by Adams. Bryce at second, 2 outs, bottom of the first.
This is fun.
Yeah, Matt's going kind of just leveling off to stay alive here.
Well, he's fouling off the tough pitches on the black, and the longer you stay in the fight, the better chance you have of getting a mistake.
Got him on the off speed. A slider ending up way downstairs. Harper stranded after 1-2 Rockies.
A couple other injuries now that we're going to have to start monitoring. Anthony Rendon leaving last night's ball game after fouling a ball off his big toe. Davey Martinez saying that x-rays on that toe came back negative, so that's good news, but Rendon was very sore today. The Nationals listing him as day-to-day right now, and they're going to provide treatment for Rendon and monitor him. And then Brian Goodwin was in the original starting lineup for today, scratched with a sore left wrist, guys. Position players banged up right now.
Well, playing time for other guys, and Davey Martinez needs them to step up.
Opportunity for other guys, too. Moises Sierra has a big chance today to show what he can do.
And Matt Reynolds in there at third base, batting eighth.
Yeah, Matt Reynolds, too.
So here's Trevor Story, and after that foul ball, a swing and a miss. The Nats pitching staff has struck out at least 8 batters in every game they've pitched this year. Tied for the longest streak to start a season in the so-called live ball era. And the funny thing is, the other team is this year as well. It's the Yankees. Pitchers with lots of strikeouts to start a season. Nats have had 11 games this year with the starter allowing 2 earned runs or fewer. He has struck out every batter he has retired. Max Scherzer. That's the 3rd swinging strikeout. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons with our league leaders. So moving up the list. Look out, Grover, Cleveland, Alexander. Max Scherzer is approaching, and David Wells along with Jake Peavy not that far ahead, and then of course Jim Palmer.
I didn't know who Pete Alexander was till you said that. But you talk about the 3 true outcomes in baseball in today's game. Look at your scorecard. Strikeout, walk, homer, strikeout, strikeout, strikeout.
So 1 contact
I mean,
in the first 6 hitters.
If that ain't
long
baseball today, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
We could set the defense for you again, but that was just a serious waste of time. That was nasty. So he has a cutter that'll kind of go in and change lanes to lefties. This is a slider. Watch the depth to it at the end.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Strikeout number 5. Max Scherzer has some kind of heater going today, and the disappearing slider set up this.
Well, get your scorebook out from May 11th, 2016 against the Tigers. How did he start that one out? He's got 5 Ks already. All 5 outs in this game strikeouts so far for Max Scherzer. And I want to say that he started that one with 6 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Bob is going to the National Archives as we speak. I'll do play-by-play.
Which did arrive via armored car here the other day.
Yes, there he is. He's got the Bob Carpenter scorebook out from 2016, and he will tell you in a moment. You won't hear from him for about 10 minutes, but
I forgot the date now. Yeah, May 11th. He struck out 2 in the first, the side in the second after a hit, 3 more in the third. After 5 innings, Max had 11 that night against the Tigers.
oh, the slider.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's warm. He's got a good grip, and he's on top of it. You remember he said between starts he worked on being on top of the ball more, and you could tell by the slider and the fastball both coming out easy. Slider has tons of break to it early.
This is Tony Wolter's first career at bat against Max Scherzer, and he does well to stay alive. You know, we talked about the 102 pitch complete game with 10 strikeouts Monday. That night against the Tigers, he struck out twice as many batters and threw a complete game on 119 pitches. 96 strikes. Amazing.
It's good.
He slowed it down, and so did Walters with the bat.
Staying alive. That was a good pitch. Just for selfish reasons, I want to see the slider again at his back knee, because it's been filthy early. He shook it off.
Yeah, I went with the changeup, 2-2. Till I looked at the book here, I had forgotten that Jordan Zimmerman was the opposing pitcher that night. And he made contact 1 out of 2 times up there against Max.
Yeah, I wish Jordan well, too. He got hit with a line drive in the face the other day.
2-2. Swing and a miss.
Oh.
6 outs, 6 strikeouts. Wieters, Taylor, and Sierra ahead. Nesting. Today, PNC, make today the day. And by Lexus, experience amazing. Cherry blossoms, Saturday, beautiful in town, 78 at game time.
That's beautiful, but that makes me want to sneeze. Sunday, April 15th marks the 71st anniversary of Jackie Robinson's historic MLB debut. That was in 1947. Join the Nats in commemorating Jackie Robinson and Black Heritage Day at Nats Park, when the Nats take on the Rockies. 1:35 start tomorrow. Go to mlbcommunity.org to learn more.
And Matt Wieters drilling one to left, but Gerardo Parra is there. On John Gray's first pitch of the second inning. Taylor and Sierra the next 2.
You know, I never had allergies until I moved to DC in this cherry blossom thing. And for some reason, when we're way up high here in the booth, I feel like we get it worse up here. I'm fine until I get to the booth. I'm just sneezing the whole game.
Well, I noticed the weather was warmer last night because we saw many of our flying friends up here as the weather warmed up. We get creatures up here that people at street level do not see. 0-1 to Michael A. 1 for 7 in the series. He'll face John Gray for the first time.
Maybe those are rally cherry blossoms. Let's go. Here we go.
That's perfect on the edge. Seems like when you're scuffling, every fastball is right on a corner somewhere. Now the Rockies came inside to get him last night. That was a lefty, and that's going to be similar spot there as strike 2 was. And now John Gray has struck out 3.
Everything away in the sequence, right? That one ran back. Not in the box.
Here's Moises Sierra. Made an out last night after taking over for Goodwin in left field. He pinch hit 5th inning on Thursday night and drilled a double out to deep right center. Ian Desmond now was in center field for a couple of days. Charlie Blackmon out there, and Blackmon shading him that way.
Oh, good swing.
Yeah, he's aggressive. 1-2. Sierra, big strong guy, 6'1", 220, 29 years of age. Has not been in the big leagues since 14 with Toronto and the White Sox. So good for him. He battled his way back. Got a pitch inside. Skies it to left. Parra. And the Nats have a double by Bryce Harper, and that's it for the first 2 innings. Most games with 10 strikeouts or more and no walks among active pitchers. Only Clayton Kershaw with more. Somax faces John Gray, who's 0 for 5 on the year. 10 for 101 in his career with a homer and 7 RBIs. Right side, it's a contact out, and it came from the pitcher.
I was kind of already chalking that one up to a K, darn it.
I know I had him down for 27 strikeouts today. Top of the order, DJ LeMahieu struck out swinging when Max came out smoking to start the game. Overpowers him with that one. It's off to the right, out of play.
Keep an eye on the velocity for Max. He came out firing today. And he's usually the kind of pitcher that'll pace himself early, reach back late, but I just think it's a warm day. Got the juices flowing early, and it's coming out easy. It doesn't look like there's a lot of effort involved to the 97. Let's show him a curveball. Here comes the 4th pitch in the arsenal. He's already shown everybody fastball, slider, change, and now he drops a curve on DJ LeMahieu, and it just buckles it. Did you see that?
Yeah, splits the inside edge. Swing and a miss on one that ends up way outside, and that's strikeout number 7.
All right, baseball's back in D.C., and thankfully so is the nice weather. Enjoy warmer temperatures this weekend. 4-game set. Come out tomorrow. Rockies are still here. Visit nationals.com for tickets. Today, by the way, is the anniversary of the first game played in D.C. since September of 1971. That was in 2005. Today is the anniversary of that.
Yeah, the Nats opened up on the road that year. Livan Hernandez against the Diamondbacks. Chad Cordero closed out that game. You know, these outs are happening way too quickly. Sierra puts that one away. 2-0 Colorado in the 3rd.
.78 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Well, there's one right there. Nationals fans, when the Nats win and score 7 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu online orders at papajohns.com. With promo code NATS50, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. All right, we need some pizza today. Let's go.
Matt Reynolds will get his first start as a Nat. 0 for 4 in 3 games. And we've seen him with the Mets in spring training, with our ball club in spring training this year. He's got some pop on that bat. 4 career home runs. Part-time guy with the Mets. Nats got him February 12th for cash considerations from the New York Ball Club. He's going to try to hustle down the line, and Gray throws him out.
So if this guy gets on, heads up, you never know. He's been bugging every manager he's played for as a Nat to give him the green light. Freddie Freeman not holding him on. The first career steal for Max Scherzer, and the first by a Nats pitcher ever. And it looks like he wanted a piece of Ozzie Albies with that slide too. Did you see that? I just noticed that the first time.
Yeah, Ozzie got out of dodge on that one.
And
and now Max jammed. Gray throws him out.
It got the attention of Jason Worth because Max after the game said, if Jason can steal the base, so can I. And then of course Jason responded. I don't know why he's so excited about a defensive indifference. The official scorer must have been a fan throwing him a charity stolen base. Freeman wasn't even holding him on. So he said, I think he's still bitter about the pickup basketball game from this winter when I used him to mop the floor. From Jason Worth to Max Scherzer.
I can't think of 2 better guys to exchange some smack talk.
That was from Jason Stark in The Athletic.
Top of the order, Trey Turner now. So John Gray, 6 in a row since Harper's double. That is really close. Gabe Morales didn't give him the strike, and that gives Turner a 2-0 count. And some long looks in from the mound twice in a row, and I think Gabe Morales is hearing about it from the third base dugout.
Get him in the face.
He might have come up and got him.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Up under the helmet, the nose.
Trey Turner on some borderline pitches draws the first walk of the day for the Nats. That'll get Wilmer Defoe in there.
Well, we'll see the delivery of John Gray here, and if he speeds it up, or Trey Turner has a chance to steal his 6th base in as many tries.
There's Wilmer.
Ooh, that's a long delivery. He's got a chance.
Trey 5 for 5. Nets 15 out of 18. Rockies playing their shortstop shallow on the left side. Now when Arenado is at third, he takes care of the left side, but in this case Ryan McMahon, the third baseman, went up the middle, and that's Trevor Story over there.
Yeah, Story's got a long way to go to cover second on a steal, doesn't he? Look where he's standing.
Yeah, unless they're going to send McMahon that way. You look out there, and even though it's 0-1, you see a lot of places where Wilmer could get a hit to get Bryce Harper to the plate here in the third.
Oh, yeah, that's McMahon standing there. That's my fault. I thought that was Story up the middle. Yeah, he's
Trey
going.
had a lean going.
Yeah, he's going.
Holding. Didn't have that big of a lead, and after showing bunt, Defoe takes it. That wouldn't have been a real easy pitch to bunt. Elevated a bit. Now it's 0-2.
I like the idea. Trevor Story was playing kind of toward shortstop on the grass, so he had to go toward the Rockies dugout, throw across his body, and he's a shortstop. And how many times has he made that play? So a good idea by Wilmer.
0-2 would it be a good pitch on which to run?
Yes.
He had a lean going again. In fact, almost took a jab step towards second.
Normally I'd say no, Carp, because you can do a modified pitch out here if you hear a runner throw a fastball up and away if you have a fastball call. But with Trey's speed, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He can outrun that.
And who pitches out anymore? They say speed never slumps, but the Nats haven't been on first base enough with their speed guys to really bring that into play. A lot of stolen bases in the first week or so of the season, but not a whole lot for the last 10 or 11 days.
When I played winter ball in Mexico, anytime a pitcher heard runner or there he goes, it was an automatic pitch out. So say you have slider call with 2 strikes. The pitcher in the middle of his delivery, if you hear runner, there he goes, the catcher would jump out, and it was just a pitch out automatically every time they heard the runner was going. Didn't have to call for it. They just did it.
He's going this time. Low and in, and no play at second. Trey Turner, 6 for 6.
Picked a good pitch, and it seems like he does that more often than not. Look at the long strides by Trey. I mean, if that's a fastball down the middle, well, it would have been strike 3, but if a high fastball, he still steals that base. The fact that it was in the dirt helped them immensely. So 6 for 6.
Yeah, all Tony Wolters could worry about was blocking that thing. So the count's back even for Wilmer here. Harper on deck, bottom of the third. Nats down by 2, and John Gray thinks this is important enough to ask his catcher for a mound visit.
Only 5 left. We'll wait for the sign from Gabe Morales. This is always the most exciting part of these. Watch. There it is. Yep, there's one. There's one. There's one.
He goes press box.
Yep.
Dugout of the team that did it. Other dugout.
Tremendous form. Maybe we can show that in the Fios Verizon X mode then.
2-2 pitch. Defoe swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for John Gray. He's got a 2-run lead. This one into the middle innings. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Max has the stare going. He also has 7 strikeouts in the first 3 innings, but he gave up a 2-run homer in the first. So the Rockies coming up on what their career numbers look like, understanding what's important at M&T Bank. So Charlie Blackmon, a dramatic return to their lineup in the first inning. 2-run homer just to the top of the scoreboard, right center. And even though he's missed some time now, Charlie Blackmon tied with Gregory Polanco, Eric Thames, and Yadier Molina, second in the league behind Bryce Harper. Those guys have 5 homers. And that was his second career shot against Max. On the edge. Charlie Blackmon hit .331 last year to win the batting title. Drove in 103 runs from the leadoff spot, a major league record for a hitter at the top of the lineup. He had 1 other RBI batting elsewhere. 103 RBIs leading off.
They just signed a 6-year, $108 million deal.
Yeah.
Player options in 2022 and 23.
Yeah, Charlie's 31 right now, has a birthday in July. Two balls, two strikes. Max turned over the changeup and missed by a big margin.
There's people in the Rockies organization that'll kind of tell you on the down low that he's their MVP. It's hard to say with Nolan Arenado on the same team, but what he brings to the table offensively, defensively, and the way he grinds out at bats.
Two-time All-Star, 2 consecutive Silver Sluggers, and no contact there. That's number 8 for Max, so he has struck out 8 of the 10 he's retired.
I mean, this is the best slider I've seen him have this year. That was more the cutter variety. Didn't have the depth to it, but watch just the subtle movement. And you talk to hitters around the league and they'll tell you, to a man, they can't pick it up. They can't pick up the rotation on the Max Scherzer slider.
Yeah, when you swing, it's no longer where you saw it. And here's Carlos Gonzalez. Nats in a shift. It's Trey up the middle next to Ben May, the umpire. He was going to swing no matter what on 2-0.
Well, that's what we did to Tanner last night. A 2-0 fastball that Tanner threw away from him. He went out and pulled it out of the ballpark, and Matt Wieters, paying attention, knows that he likes to swing 2-0, as a lot of hitters do, but this was auto swing, and maybe he didn't pick up the rotation, but I like they called the 2-0 slider. Nice pitch.
That probably looked a whole lot faster than 95 after the slide piece. And the count 2-2.
And those that don't know what auto swing means, it's a term that players use, meaning I'm swinging at this pitch no matter what. Just because it's a 2-0 count, I'm swinging and you're hoping it's right down the middle.
This one out into center. Turner out. He lets everybody know he's drawing a bead on it. So we got a veteran battery working today, Dan Coco.
That's right, Bob, and a little over a year of experience now with Scherzer and Wieters working together. Wieters telling me it was a bit of a process early on last year, the two of them learning each other's tendencies, but they grew to understand what to expect out of each other. Wieters saying Max attacks a little bit more based on analytics, while Wieters goes more on what he sees, both on film and during at-bats. One element Wieters says Max excels is knowing where the swings and misses are with each hitter, especially out of the zone, where to get guys to chase. And then once he finds that weakness, Wieters says he really exploits it well.
Ian Desmond struck out looking first time. 0-2 in this inning. 2 quick outs. Blackman the strikeout. Gonzalez the pop-up.
Well, I've seen Ian chase the high fastball a lot with 2 strikes. See if they go there or bounce the slider.
They go slider away. Turner there. And for Max Scherzer, 11 in a row since the Blackman homer. Bryce has a double today. He'll lead off. Bottom 4. George, way out of the gate. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com. See how much you can save. Abe's the only one with a chance, and he hasn't won a race yet. Teddy and Tom disinterested. So George now has 3. Jefferson 4, Teddy 2, and Abe 0.
I'm trying to figure out why the Hawaiian shirts today. I'm looking, it's National Gardening Day. Gardening Day?
Gardening, huh?
Yeah. National Ex-Spouse Day. I got a lot of those.
They have an ex-spouse day?
Yeah, it says right here.
Sounds expensive.
It is.
1-0 to Harper. And the fastball in there from John Gray. Bryce muscled a double out to left center when they jammed him first time up. First double of the year to go with his 6 home runs. Six-year-old righty, 21-18 career. Third start against the Nats. 0-1, 573 coming in. Harper jacks one to right, and right where Carlos Gonzalez didn't have to go too far to get it. Locking it in pretty well so far today.
Well, I don't want to say he got jammed his first time up, but he muscled the ball into the gap with 2 strikes. So he kind of set a trap, right? You hit one that way, he's thinking, okay, Gray's going to try me in. And that had extra gear. That almost fooled Carlos Gonzalez in right. 105-mile-an-hour out for Bryce Harper.
Up there swinging, Matt Adams. And Charlie Blackmon has it. Maybe the Padres just checked a box about his quad watching that play, although you did see a limp after the homer.
All right, follow the Nats with MLB At Bat. You get highlights, stats, and breaking news. You can download it today. MLB At Bat is the app that you need.
Yeah, I don't think the Padres checked that box after they got into it with the Rockies the other day, so correcting myself with the thanks of our vigilant producer. And here's Matt Wieters, who hit a fly ball to left first time. If you joined us after the game started, Nolan Arenado is going to go ahead and serve his 5-game suspension. They got Charlie Blackmon back today. So Arenado misses today and tomorrow, and then 3 games in Pittsburgh.
It's supposed to be cold in Pittsburgh, too. I mean, strong veteran move by Arenado. Strong.
And Gerardo Parra out in left field. He's facing a 4-game suspension. Oh, that's a loud sound by Matt Wieters. See you later. That is deep right center. His first of the year. And also his first RBI, and the Nats are on the board.
And 405 feet, 105 miles an hour makes this a 1-run ball game. Nice swing, Matt Wieters. See Bryce Harper, first guy to greet him on the top step after he just made an out. I love that. That ball was touched.
So Matt Wieters' 11th homer as a Nat, the 128th of his career.
Well, I guess we'll show you the home run again instead of the signal for the second trip by the Rockies. There it is. Fios by Verizon Exmo show you Matt Wieters' first tater of the year. Beautiful swing. Look at the balance, the throw of the barrel, the launch angle, From TVs to tablets, everything is amazing on the 100% fiber optic network.
Taylor goes deep to center, but Blackman is there.
A lot of hard hit balls at it.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 hard hit, and it took a good play by Blackman to keep the other one from dropping in. 1-run game.
Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers are going to donate $250 for this. The Tater from Matt Wieters. That goes to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs the Nats hit this year. And check out some numbers on this. 106 miles an hour. Pretty low launch angle as it just gets out of here. 405 feet. Matt Wieters experienced amazing, and Lexus experiences amazing.
Here's Max back to work. Trevor Story, the hitter. One hit through 4, the Blackman homer after the Parra walk in the first inning. Front door on the slider. He tried it on the first one, doubled up, and it's 1-1. Right side, Matt Adams. Defoe there if needed. And they had a little bump.
Yeah, tall guy wins every time on that one. And they haven't played next to each other a lot, and Matt Adams doesn't know that Wilmer Defoe wants every fly ball ever hit in the history of the world. And Matt says, get out of here. Tall guy always wins that.
Yeah.
See, box for position. Got the rebound.
Here's Ryan McMahon. Called out on strikes for Max's 5th. Back in the 2nd. Got a first pitch curveball. Unhittable.
You can hear Wilmer chirping out there. I like it. I think the Nats are missing Murph in the sense that he's so engaged on defense. He's always chirping out there. He's telling everybody where they need to be. And you know, talk about veteran leadership and the energy. We love Murph's swing. We love his numbers, but when he's out on defense, he's more engaged than most. He's always talking. He's letting you know where you got to be, talking to umpires, talking to his pitcher, trips to the mound. So there's a lot more things the Nets are missing besides Daniel Murphy's bat. You got a guy out there that's into every single pitch on defense too, Carp. It keeps everybody involved. Hey, I'm going to be over here. I got you on a comebacker. You know, I'm going for the ball in the hole. I'll call you off. Hey, here we go. You know, talking to the pitcher. Here we go. You know, always into the game. This is a very quiet team. You know, Trey Turner's not very vocal. Anthony Rendon's not very vocal. Matt Adams, same way. And with Ryan Zimmerman, too. So Matt Wieters is a quiet guy. Michael Taylor's a quiet guy. So when you have a bunch of guys that are tremendous performers and have amazing ability at the highest level, but they're not rah-rah guys, you need somebody like that. And they're missing Daniel Murphy's presence.
Yeah, well said. And Defoe, really since his first couple of days in the big leagues, has been that guy.
And it's not a knock on those guys. They lead by example. You know, I'm going to look at Anthony Rendon and play just like him. Trey Turner, same way. But there's certain times where you need a guy, especially when, you know, maybe you don't have the energy or the momentum as a ball club to kind of pick you up. Like, hey, let's go. Jason Worth was that guy in the dugout a lot. He chirped between innings. So yeah, we talk about analytics, we talk about launch angles and numbers and averages, but the intangibles that Daniel Murphy brings to a ball club, they're missing it right now. Had him eating too.
I hope Ryan McMahon doesn't slice a foul ball straight back and get his catcher.
Yeah, who's basically in the right-handed batter's box.
Swing and a miss. I guess they weren't anticipating contact. Number 9 for Max. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast.
Look at that one right down the middle, and he can't catch up. Challenge fastball. 97 jumping out of Max's hand here today. Loving the heater. I mean, he's got no-hit stuff. Let's be honest. The one home run to Charlie Blackmon, or we'd be sitting here thinking about it.
Walters struck out swinging first time. Monday night, it took Max till the last out of the game to get number 10. Today, he's in a position in the 5th inning. .2-0 pitch. Max would like to go after this 8 guy and get him and have John Gray lead off next time around. And Walters tried to sell it inside.
To a 3-2.
Yeah, crowd picked up on it a little bit there on the 2-strike foul ball. Payoff pitch.
Tell you what, Walter struck out first time, but he's the one guy that's given Max a little bit of battle here today. Can't remember how many pitches his first at bat was, but it was a fight. 7-pitch strikeout, I'm being told. Slider down and in. He's got him if he wants it. Yeah, but he's got about 7 different ways if he wants it.
.3-2 again.
Tried it.
Not a big sample, but Tony Walters coming into the series and really into today because this is the first time he's played this weekend. .357 career with a home run and 5 RBIs against the Nats. Today, first time he's ever faced Max Scherzer. That is playable. Sierra was really shallow in left. He's got it, and that's 14 in a row for Max. Halfway through the game, bottom 3 straight ahead, 1-run contest. Charlie Blackmon, one swing in the first inning, a difference after a walk. Matt Wieters goes deep, 2 out solo shot, bottom 4. And Max Scherzer, 78 pitches, 52 strikes, 9 strikeouts through 5 innings. Beautiful day for some offense. Sierra, Reynolds, Scherzer. John Gray, 59 pitches, 39 strikes through 4.
Tell you what, most pitchers when they're in the hole are just now getting their helmet, maybe, and their batting gloves on. Max Scherzer has his helmet on, his batting gloves on, his bat in his hand, and he's ready to rock and roll. He's just on the top step. I mean, it's his day, right?
Yeah.
He's a ball player, ready to go. He's thinking ways to win the game offensively right now.
Yeah, it's not his day to pitch, it's his day to play.
Yeah. My button, am I gonna knock somebody in? We'll see.
Saw Wilmer Defoe with a batting helmet on. He must expect this to be a big inning.
I like it.
He would be up 5th. I like that a lot.
Yeah, good point.
Well, you talk about being ready to hit, usually in the context of early in the game, but here we are in the 5th. So Sierra's going to strike out. He's already been tagged out according to the umpire, or he left the premises, and that's number 5 for Gray.
Kids, it's all about you. Sunday, April 29th at Nats Park. Celebrate Kids Opening Day with Junior Nats Kids Club. Join Screech and all of his weird mascot buddies and celebrate his birthday and take home a party favor. The first 10,000 kids ages 12 and under receive a fidget spinner. That's presented by the Potomac Nationals. Tell your parents to visit the Nationals for tickets. You get a fidget spinner. So do you.
Matt Reynolds just tapped one right off the end of the bat in front of home plate. First time, Gray came in to throw him out. 1-1.
Yeah, that's the day with when they have the inflatable mascots that convulse out there.
Yeah,
they eat each other.
They go upside down.
Yeah, that's why I said,
consume other mascots.
That's why I said weird friends. I have some weird friends, but they're not mascots.
John Gray and this Colorado pitching staff, their opponent's batting average through their first 15 games, 236. For a Colorado staff, they're putting up some unheard of numbers.
Yeah, John Gray's a good pitcher, but you know, this is the kind of pitcher the Nats historically have handled. The guy that throws 96, 97 and had a bad outing last time, giving up 7 runs on 10 hits against the Padres. You were thinking today's the day they're going to bust out. You know, no knock against John Gray, but they've historically hit the fastball well.
And a swing and a miss on a breaking ball down and away. Gray number 6.
All right, Max is going to bear down here. I feel something good coming. The truck is telling me Tommy the Swordfish and Clammy Sosa for the inflatable convulsing mascots, right? Remember those?
So Harry Canary's not coming?
Yeah, that's a good. He's in there.
Okay, good.
Not creepy at all. None of them. No, not a bit. Nothing weird about it.
As long as there are no clowns, we're all right.
Yeah.
1 and 2 with 2 outs. Max to right and a base hit. He's hustling. He didn't want Carlos Gonzalez to throw him out, and now it'll be a throwing error that puts Scherzer on second base. Somebody pick up on what you just saw.
I got goosebumps right now. I told you he's sitting in that dugout thinking about ways he's going to win the game. I mean, it's his day. He's a baseball player. He was 3 hitters away. He was on the top step with his batting gloves. And he's thinking about, how am I going to do this? How am I going to help myself? And watch him scramble to second. So there's a base hit. By the way, he's under the radar, becoming one of the better hitting pitchers in the National League. And watch him bust it to second base because he knows he represents the tie and run. Here's the throw. He's easily in there. Max doesn't loaf anywhere on a baseball field. I don't know what Carlos Gonzalez was thinking. And look at the hustle to second base. Put your head down and get there, big boy. If that doesn't fire up his ball club, nothing will.
Here's Turner, and that's the tying run out there. Yeah, Max was in the American League for 5 years with the Tigers after he started with Arizona. It's his 4th year in the National League, and he's become a bona fide NL outstanding hitting pitcher. He's now 3 for 10 on the year.
I mean, you got to feed off that if you're in the first base dugout right now. If your big boy, your 3-time Cy Young Award winner, is playing this hard with the linebacker eyes running to first base. I mean, I'm up here at a mile high above the game, and I'm fired up. I can't imagine what they're doing in that dugout.
Turner ducks away from a slider that comes back to catch the inside edge. So Trey's 2-strike battle begins right now.
Kind of a backup slider here.
Turner 3 RBIs on the year. Walters trying to frame it. 2-2. Well, maybe he will bat in this inning. Had the helmet on as soon as the Nats got in the dugout. Turner to right. And Gonzalez right there. Well, Scherzer tried to fire things up. He'll go back to work with that golden right arm.
moderate move after running around the bases on a warm day, so he's catching his breath. 2-1 as we go to the top of the 6th, and we'll show you some Max Scherzer highlights. There's the eyes, the game face of Max Scherzer. Check out the subtle cut on this fastball, and there's another heater. Just look where he releases it and look where it ends up. Almost looks like it has some rise to it, right? And then here's the dirty slider that he's been featuring all day to get Charlie Blackmon, who homered his first at-bat. Fun to watch him play every 5th day. We're all lucky we get to see it. The Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $44 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by Nats pitcher this season.
2-1 Rockies. Quite a ball game here. Quite a matchup. Scherzer will pitch to John Gray, and then DJ LeMahieu, Gerardo Parra, top 6.
I mean, if I'm a Nats fan, I'm coming to as many home games as I can. But I'm making sure I get to the ones where he starts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be. It's appointment television. And his 5th day here at the ballpark, you got to come see him. You never know what you're going to witness. I think we're watching a future Hall of Famer every 5th day. You know, and someday you can tell your kids and your grandkids you got to watch Max Scherzer pitch.
John Gray was the first Rocky to make a contact out. Leading off the 30, hit a ground ball down to Matt Adams. And Matt Wieters going out for a visit.
This is just a breather. Max was huffing and puffing when he came out of the dugout on the mound. He took his time, but he was still breathing hard. And Wieters noticed that. So a 2-0 count after he ran the bases. He's been working real hard with all the strikeouts today. It's an excellent trip by Matt Wieters. Not to calm Max down, but just give him another little extra breather before he gets going here. 2-0 to the pitcher. He saw what we saw.
And gets him right back in the strike zone with a very easy looking 94.
Very good hack.
So the Rockies boxed nothing other than Parra and Blackmon back in the 2nd. Walk, homer. And Gray, pretty good hack. Reynolds, and that's 15 in a row by Max Scherzer. Top of the order, LeMahieu and Parra.
Never been a fan, Carp, of pitchers for MVP, but if you start adding offense to what he does and he has a year like he's capable of having, I'm in. You know, I think there's 2 awards, right? Cy Young for the best pitcher, MVP for the best player, but on every 5th day, if you keep getting hits and run around the pillows like he is.
How about Scherzer in one league and Ohtani in the other?
Yeah, it's early for both, but yeah. Everybody says Ohtani reminds him of Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth never did 2 at once.
This one off the end of the bat. Wilmer Defoe waiting for it.
Babe Ruth was a pitcher and then became a hitter. But when he was a pitcher, he was just a pitcher.
Parra, a walk, a run, and a fly ball to left. Trying to bunt his way aboard, and Matt Reynolds says no, sir. Catches it on the fly. If it hits the ground, it's a hit. But Matt played it very well. Old-time afternoon matchup between two right-handers. Max Scherzer, brilliant. 17 in a row retired now since the Blackman home run. And the Nats, they're really just one inning away with the bats of maybe turning this thing around.
You just feel like it's right there, right? I mean, they've had some good at-bats today. They've lined out a lot. And this offense is just a click off right now. And, you know, they say hitting is contagious. Maybe Max's base hit and run around the bases like he did gets them going. But you just feel like today's the day they break out. Hadn't happened yet, and maybe Wilmer gets things started here. They just need base runners. It's not so much about hits right now. It's, you know, some traffic out there, as Daniel Murphy calls it.
Oh, Eddie Herzog once said, I can wait for offense. I can't wait for pitching and defense. And this kind of figures into that, because even when you're not hitting, great pitching and solid defense can keep you in ball games as you wait for those key hits here and there. So the Nats have 3 hits, a Harper first inning double, the Wieters long 4th inning home run, and then Max Scherzer's opposite field line drive last inning. And now Defoe's going to go opposite field for a hit, and Harper is next, and we'll see where this takes the Nats.
Yeah, the Nats need to rally something, or rally anything. We haven't had one yet this year.
Opposite field double. Hit one really hard in a line to Gonzalez in right field last time.
Had a few good at-bats today. The double in the gap first time up. Lined out hard to Carlos Gonzalez last time up.
Wilmer 1 for 2 stealing. Last year, Wilmer Defoe stole 10 bases, was caught just once. Swipe tag. I don't know if Ian ever got the glove there, but it was a quick throw by Wolters.
Well, tough play for Ian Desmond to find the runner, but this was close. Steps behind Bryce. Bryce being very polite, ducking there and giving Wolters a throwing lane.
Lots of attention with the big slugger in the batter's box.
Well, 1-run game, bottom of the 6th. He's trying to protect the lead. I get it. I think Wilmer lets Bryce hit for a minute here. Maybe with 2 strikes he thinks about going. We'll see.
Target away. Defoe holding. Harper. Base hit up the middle. Defoe's going to turn and go to third right in front of Charlie Blackman, who throws it into second, and the Nats have a corner situation with nobody out. And Bryce is 2 for 3.
We kind of felt it coming. It's the Max Scherzer effect, right? They had 3 hard hit balls in the 4th. Max with the single last inning. Trey Turner lined out to right, so the bats are close. That's a beautiful swing by Bryce, and maybe even better read by Wilmer Defoe with nobody out. Just banking on that, going over into the outfield, and Daniel Murphy on the top step cheering. Game on, folks. Here we go. Did he signal to the bullpen, or is he talking to his right-hander?
So Buddy Black maybe buying some time for his bullpen here. Manager out for this visit. And not warming up too long just yet. Pretty much still playing quick catch out there. Right-hander Antonio Senzatella.
That's a pretty animated conversation from the Rockies skipper, Bud Black. He had the finger point going. I don't think he was upset. I think it was more inspirational than anything. Like, hey, look, you're pitching a great one here today. You're going up against one of the great pitchers in baseball. Find a way. And now what are we doing here?
Well, Bud Black looked back as Gabe Morales was giving the mound visit update. Rockies, according to the scoreboard, down to 3, and then as soon as Bud Black saw that, did they charge him with a couple there?
I believe so. And with his bullpen just getting loose, Bud Black is in no hurry right here. He wants to know why, but he's also stalling for his relievers to get hot.
Well, Adams 0 for 2 today, robbed of a hit by Blackman in center last time. But Matt Adams is 2 for 7 career against John Gray with a couple of RBIs. First order of business, get Defoe home, tie this game, and Bryce has a big lead. He's running. No throw. Harper to second.
Good call, Carp. I think when you're scuffling offensively as a ball club, you put together some good at-bats, but nothing fires up a team more than base running, right? Wilmer, nice read. First to third. Bryce stealing second. And I'm still hanging my hat on. This is all because of Max Scherzer.
Harper 2 for 2 stealing. So that wipes out the ground ball double play. Adams, a big swing. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See, 1-0, that's for Matt Adams. He's thinking 3 runs in 1 swing. Now, this is a fun at-bat for a hitter because you can hit a ground ball to DJ LeMahieu, get a run in, get Bryce Harper to third with 1 out, and hope that Matt Wieters can pick up the rest. So he took a shot there, and rightly so. 1-0 count, aggressive swing. Now you're thinking about driving the ball to right, on the ground maybe even.
Well, the Nats have a series high 5 hits. Each of the first 2 games a run on 4 hits. And they've had 4 of those 5 hits going back 3 innings to a Matt Wieters home run. Adams is going to pop it up on the infield. John Gray points up and gets out of the way. And that was dangerous, grabbed by Ian Desmond and colliding with the third baseman McMahon. Next up, Matt Wieters.
They heard the crowd kind of roaring right here, especially as they saw these two going at it. They couldn't hear each other. And on a sunny day, you can't take your eye off the baseball right there, so you're kind of at the mercy of whatever happens there happens, and Desmond made a nice play.
Matt Wieters home run last time, 405, deep right center. And Defoe can come as far down the line as he wants. That's a balk. Wilmer Defoe, or was it time? Yeah, it was time granted to the catcher. Wilmer Defoe was coming down the line, and I think Tony Wolters saw that and asked for time, and Gabe Morales gave it to him.
So that's called a forced balk. You take a little stroll down the third baseline trying to force the pitcher to balk, get a run. And I don't know what happened there, and it looked like Wolters called the timeout late, and he pointed right to him saying, hey, that wasn't the hitter, that was the catcher.
And the crowd reacted as if it was a balk. First pitch now, Wieters base hit. That'll tie the game. Harper to third. Henley stops him, and Matt Wieters is having his best game of the year.
Well, you just see these veteran hitters, guys have been around for a while. What did you do last time up? Pull side homer. So what's his mindset here? They're not coming in there again. If I'm catching, I'm not going to throw me in. I just hit one of the seats. So his game plan going up there was, I'm going the other way. That's good veteran hitting and a game plan hitting and execution by Matt Wieters. Nicely done.
Looks like Bud Black is going to give Gray one more hitter, Michael A. Taylor. First and third, one out, and a golden opportunity to get on top here. Michael has one RBI. He's going to bunt to run home, maybe. Out is Harper at the plate as Tony Wolters got a shovel from Ian Desmond.
Did he get his foot in there? I think you got to check this, right? It looked like his foot got in there and the tag was up around the chest. Great bunt by Michael Taylor. Good play by Ian Desmond, the former shortstop. And did his foot get in? Oh, yeah, he's safe. By a mile, he's safe.
Yeah, Nats have to challenge, and this will not take long.
He looked safe the first time. Watch his foot right there on the plate. There's no tag near. Nice play by Ian. Hey, I don't know if Dave Martinez put that on, but Michael A. Taylor just laid down a perfect bunt. We talked about how they worked on this in West Palm Beach in spring training. They worked on it a lot. The safety squeeze. You saw it with the Cubs. Dave Martinez brought that over, and you hear the crowd in the background. They're seeing what you saw. That's going to be a 3-2 ball game, folks. Good game here.
Yeah. About 34,000 umpires are having a big time right now. I mean, every time they see it, they go nuts. We had about 6 crescendos in a row.
Crowd chanting safe right now. Can you hear it?
Harper home, the Nats are on top.
So let me show you how this play works. You butt the ball this way, and then Bryce Harper's just reading it coming down the line. So as soon as you see the ball away from the pitcher, if you're Bryce, go ahead and roll it, guys. Now he comes. You see, he just kind of rolled right into it. An athletic play by Ian Desmond to make it that close. Most first basemen aren't that fast, number one, and most haven't played shortstop their whole career, number two. So the fact that it was even that close was exciting, but how about Bryce Harper playing hard right there to put his ball club up 3-2? That was fun.
Yeah, they give Taylor a hit, gets an RBI there. So still only one out, runners at first and second.
Max Scherzer woke everybody up, folks. Yeah, that guy.
So they're going to give a sacrifice to Taylor. They put base hit on the board, but they never posted hit number 7. So we're thinking sacrifice RBI. 1-1 to Sierra. Locked up, and it's 1-2.
I mean, if you're going to put together a Max Scherzer highlight reel today, Max on the top step to start last inning with his batting gloves on, his helmet on, and the bat in his hand, hitting third is all you really need to see.
John Gray's up to 93 pitches. Pretty long leash for him here in the 6th inning. 3 hits, a sacrifice RBI bunt. 2-2 to Sierra. And he goes to the gap in right center, heading for the scoreboard. It one hops. Wieters home. Taylor screaming around third. Sierra to third. He's out, as McMahon somehow grabbed that throw and tagged him, seemingly from behind, but the Nats have 2 more runs.
I think he's safe at third. Hey, great swing by Moises Sierra. Good read by Michael A. at first base. And the fact that this ball checks up against the wall allows Bob Henley to send him. Watch the ball check up. Now Charlie Blackmon's got to take 3 steps to go get it. That allows him to send Michael Taylor. And from way up here, I thought he was safe live. Did he tag him on the foot before his hand got there? And they're going to go look at it. Headsets are out. Here we go. It's replay palooza here at Nats Park, but I think he's safe. This will show you. This will show you, right? Ooh.
Got him on the foot, but was his hand on the bag?
Couldn't tell there. Anyways, clutch knock by Moises Sierra, right? The kid's getting a start, late start. Brian Goodwin scratched, and he comes up with a huge double and maybe a triple. We'll see. What do you got? Oh, he's safe, right? Tough to tell. The original call was out, so that's the most important part. Is there enough to overturn it? Look at Max. Yeah.
This crowd is having more fun with challenging and replays than I've seen in 3 years.
This is a game of the year so far at Nats Park for sure. All right, is this going to be the one they stop it when he tags him? Can you do that? Right there. It looks like his hand's on the base. Wow.
Really close.
The chance of safe goes up again.
And because the call was out, it's got to be indisputable to call him safe, and here it comes. He's out.
It's all right. It's a great at bat.
Rockies win the challenge. That's it for John Gray. Second out of the inning. The bases will be empty, but the Nats have a 4-run inning and a 3-run lead. They hit John Gray hard in this inning. The crowd will kind of tell you everything you need to know right now. They're having a blast.
Is a pretty swing, folks. And when you got this much steam going around second, the brakes don't work. He thought about it right there. You saw the step where he was thinking about it. But I like that he tried to stretch that into a triple. So Moises Alou, Ruben Sierra, Moises Sierra with a huge knock for the Nats. And that, folks, is how you stay in the big leagues. Getting big hits like that. And who cares about the tag? He lit this crowd up with that swing.
Base is empty. 23-year-old Antonio Senzatella takes over here. Faces Matt Reynolds. And this ballpark has seen as much excitement in one inning as we've pretty much seen here offensively all week. Reynolds 0 for 2. Good defensive play on the bunt by Parra last inning.
Okay, got it going.
And Reynolds will pop it up short center. LeMahieu battling the sun. He'll take it in front of Blackman. Inning over. What a frame it was. The Nats pick up 4 with all the excitement you could want.
Strikeout leader since 2009. Max's first full year. That's the big boys right there, right?
Yeah, and that's an 80 strikeout lead over Kershaw. All right, Max back to work, top of the 7th. He's thrown 87 pitches, 59 strikes. He'll face Charlie Blackman, Carlos Gonzalez, and Ian Desmond.
Well, the best thing about that inning, besides the runs, is Max got to rest a little bit.
What a while, yeah. That was exciting by Sierra, who has a couple of doubles now. Drove in his first Nationals runs there.
Nice bunt by Michael Taylor. Great slide by Bryce Harper. And I like the way Bryce handled that whole thing. He didn't argue. He just popped up and said, "I'm safe, review it." A lot of action, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement here at the yard today. And wouldn't you know it, Max pitching, it always happens that way.
Blackman 1 for 2, a homer and a strikeout. Pitch 88, strike number 60.
Yeah, I think after a CG last start, that this inning, if he gets through it, might be it for Max. You have to, if you're Dave Martinez, trust your bullpen, right?
Yeah. He's due to lead off, so we'll see how that goes. We'll know right away. Swing and a miss, and there's number 10. 67 times in his career now.
I'll tell you what, with Goodwin banged up and Anthony Rendon banged up, Max might lead off anyways. Even if he's coming out of the game. There it is, 67th game with 10+ strikeouts. The 42nd time we as Nats fans have witnessed it.
Gonzalez and Desmond now. Shift on for Cargo up there hacking. Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. 42 times as a net, as you mentioned. And for Max Scherzer, it's his 4th year here. So who knows how many more times he does it this year. I mean, he's going to average 12 to 15 times a year as a net, striking out 10 hitters or more.
I'm telling you, it's his sneaky best game of the year. Definitely best stuff.
Yeah, who would have thunk it after about 10 or 12 pitches?
Well, yeah, after that home run, that's it. Look at your scorecard. Charlie Blackmon broke up the no-hitter.
No swing, says Ron Culpa down at 3rd. So 300 career starts, 67 times, 10 Ks or more. Davey Martinez would probably love him to get quick contact outs the rest of the way, as long as he's in there. Cargo not exactly just trying to make contact on 2 strikes. He was zeroing it out there.
So the Rockies are 7-1 when they out-hit their opponents and 1-6 when they don't.
Long run for Sierra, and he's out of room.
Good try.
Beautiful day. 78 at game time. Started right on time at 1:05 today. BC, FP, DK. And the Nats just had their home inning of the year to take a 3-run lead.
That's an appropriate promo under Max.
Close. Ball 3. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast.
Just inside? I'm being told.
In the air. Wilmer Difo was already out there on the shift, so he doesn't have to go far. 2 outs. Ian Desmond next.
Nats fans, check out the brand new Deals Hub on Nationals.com, your one-stop shop for special offers. Save on your next trip to Nats Park with discounted game tickets and concession items. Visit Nationals.com to start saving today.
Desmond a strikeout and a grounder to short.
Pitch number 100 coming.
Sixty-seven strikes. Monday night it was 102 over 72 in the complete game. Cutter, slider, after he fell behind 2-0.
That's where the crowd, you'd think, is going to get into it. Might be his last pitch today. He's hoping it is.
That is right in there. Strikeout number 11. Is that it for Max? He was a dominant pitcher and a baseball player today. 20 retired in a row. Unbelievable 2 outings in a row. He retires the last 20 Rockies. Ryan Zimmerman hits for Max, bottom of the 7th.
What you missed during the break, and hopefully we can show it to you, is he was going up and down the dugout, chest bumping guys, high-fiving his teammates coming off the field. I mean, he was some kind of fired up between innings. Everybody congratulating Max on another beautiful outing, and maybe more so on what he brought to the table today as a baseball player. I mean, this is him high-fiving his teammates on the top step, and then his manager, a little mini hug here. And he just went up and down doing this the whole commercial break. Tons of energy in the dugout, tons of positive vibes.
Ryan Madsen starting his work for the 8th. Scherzer 103 pitches, 70 strikes in 7 brilliant innings. Zimmerman hammers one to right. The number 9 spot, 2 for 3 today.
A nice swing by Ryan, but we're going to take you to the turning point of this ball game. You noticed it when you saw Max ready to hit 3 hitters away on the top step. There's nobody on at 2 outs, and we mentioned he's thinking about ways to win the baseball game. Whether I'm butting a guy over, whether I'm getting a hit. You watch the hustle down to first, put your head down, get to second, and that just lights a ball club up, folks. I know you were excited at home, everybody at the ballpark excited, but when your big boy, your star player, your 3-time Cy Young Award winner approaches the game of baseball like that, it sends a message to everybody that if he can do it, darn it, I got to do it too. That was great.
I have never seen a pitcher play the game of baseball the way Max Scherzer does, ever. Turner, 1-1. And a real good feel-good knock for Ryan Zimmerman to start this 7th inning.
In my experiences, Carp, the truly great players make everybody around them better.
That guy made the whole ballpark better.
That's sparkling in.
Not ready to depart for the clubhouse just yet. 7 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Senzatella got Reynolds on 2 pitches last inning. A hit to Zimmerman. Trey is 2 for 3 against him. Ryan diving back in, and then Desmond gave him a phantom tag after throwing the ball to the pitcher. They posted, still have 8 hits on the scoreboard. We're hearing something about Taylor's bunt.
That's all I know is it scored a run.
That's right. And you and I share a love of small ball when it's needed, necessary, and there it was. Yeah, they've got 9 hits on the board now, so they changed that from a sacrifice back to a base hit for Taylor. Good for him.
I mean, but you talk about how you turn something around. A little line drive to right, hustling to first, hustling to second. Wilmer Defoe in the 6th, kind of playing off what Max did. You know, base hit. Bryce a base hit. I mean, these aren't big things. Matt Wieters going the other way after he hit a home run on the pull side. Michael A. dropping down a bunt. So that's how you get back into it as a ball club. It's not necessarily hitting 450-foot home runs, although it's fun to watch. It's, you know, somebody doing something small and kind of everybody getting behind that. And there was a lot of little things today. I mean, there's a long way to go in this game too to kind of turn things around for these guys, and they're hoping to finish it.
Trey 1 for 9 in the series. Couple of walks and a steal today. Nets need to get his bat going. That'll help. Ryan Zimmerman, he's going to keep on going. Carlos Gonzalez throws through without a play. Ryan to third. And Trey Turner, a nice job of going the other way.
I didn't think Ryan was going to test Carlos Gonzalez right there, but you know, you saw the clap when he got to first. And there's been some aggressive base running today, so give Trey credit for hitting the hole number 1. And give Ryan credit for going to third, and watch the reaction once he gets to third base after he slides head first. You don't think he's fired up? Watch this. It's good base running.
Good pinch hitter. Good base running. That's going to be it for Senzatella, with Defoe, Harper, Adams, and Wieters all lefties ahead. So the Nationals suddenly double digits in hits. 5 runs and a chance for more here in the 7th. The DMV area Volkswagen dealers, who bring you the Smile at Spring sales event. So the Nets on top 5-2 and a chance for more here. Well, Dan Coco, this clubhouse, you couldn't walk in there really and know what the record is or what the score was the day before, could you?
That's the idea, Bob. That's what Davey Martinez wants. He said when he took this job as Nationals manager that he wants an air of positivity around this club. He wants the guys after a loss to be playing the music. Well, we didn't really hear that the last few days, and despite the fact that they were 2-8 in their last 10, you walk into the clubhouse this morning and Davey himself turned up the tunes. The music was blasting in the clubhouse this morning. Wilmer Defoe was dancing, guys were laughing. You wouldn't know how the team had been playing over the last week plus based on the fact that Davey Martinez keeping that positivity and that energy high.
So double switch, Valleca at first, Russin the pitcher, and Wilmer Defoe's going to drop one into right center to make it 6-2, and Defoe has hits in consecutive innings. A nice trip around the bases for Ryan Zimmerman.
Yeah, good at bat too by Ryan. Nice one by Wilmer. A lot of positive thoughts in the dugout right now. Yeah, Dave, just stay off Twitter and you'll be fine. Keep playing the music in the clubhouse.
You telling someone to stay off Twitter, I like it.
Yeah. Sky is always falling on Twitter.
Well, Bryce, 2 for 3 day. His base hit after Defoe's last inning to lead things off. Then the steal got it going before Wieters, Taylor, and Sierra delivered 4 runs batted in. Bryce against Russin career, 3 for 8. Rockies in a shift, and with 2 base runners, there are guys in white and gray uniforms scattered all over the place on that infield. So nobody out. Nats have 8 hits in the last 2 innings.
Rice got a good uni working today. He's dirty. I like it. Playing hard. I see some blood on there too. Yeah, normally you don't steal third with nobody out. And normally you don't steal third with nobody out and a lefty up. But that guy's not normal. And I mean that in the best way.
Yeah, kind of throws a little wrinkle into the shift when your guy up the middle has to play so close to the bag. Ooh. Like that to take a throw.
He was going. He was trying to get the timing and the hop into the jump.
That's a shortstop Trevor Story up the middle there.
Check out third base. Looks like the runway at Reagan. A lot of sliding going on over there today. I like it.
Estimated time of arrival for Trey Turner should not be long. We'll see.
I mean, I'm giving him clearance to land at third. I mean, we're higher than the tower.
Yeah, you and I could do BWI air control from here, as well as DCA and IAD.
We could do Dulles. We could do everything up here. Yeah, you're all clear to land. Go ahead.
3-1 to Bryce. Already 2 hits today. And he'll take the walk, and the bases are loaded. Turner will arrive at third, a little slower than we anticipated.
All right. Nats are one swing from putting this one on ice. Big at bat here from Matt Adams.
Adams looking for his first hit against Chris Russin in what would be their 7th time against each other. Infield coming in now, and Story's going to cross over in front of Defoe slightly to the left side.
Better field it cleanly if you're in the Rockies infield now with Trey Turner at third.
Slow roller. Trace coming home. Good throw, gets the force, and then that'll be a 4-2-3 double play.
Yeah, maybe we're not giving Matt Wieters enough credit for getting this thing started today. Back to the 4th inning. He checked in with his first tater of the year, and we're going to make it our 4th drive of the game. And maybe his next at-bat was even bigger. Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Matt Wieters is your 4th drive of the game.
Yeah, got to get on the board before he can tie it or take the lead, and that's what Matt was able to get done back in the 4th. This is his first right-handed at-bat of the year.
And maybe carp his day today is a byproduct of sharing time with Pedro and being fresh.
Yeah.
Not having to grind every single day back there.
Defoe at third, Harper at second.
And while I'm thinking it, I want to give a shout out to former Nat Kevin Franzen, who broadcast his first game yesterday with the Phillies on their radio side.
Cool.
And Kevin will learn, as he does this for a long time, when you don't want to talk about somebody for very long, you mention something with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
You his mentor now?
That's just why I waited till now to say it. But congrats.
Not a long time Nat, but one of our favorites while he was here, that's for sure.
It'll be great.
He and Dan Coco immortalized forever in the clubhouse with champagne and beer flowing.
There is no wrong pipe. We'll
part of the Beltway lexicon now.
I've lived my life by that saying since that day.
As we all sit here amazed, the count is 1-2.
He was a good man.
2 for 3 Wieters. Homer, RBI single. Russin trying to get together with Wolters here. Rockies are down to 2 mound visits. Maybe the lowest total we've seen this year.
Yeah, it's a record.
Matt just got a piece of it. One and 2. Wieters off the hands and he pops it up. Trevor Story, the shortstop, when it finally comes down. Nats get a nice add-on run thanks to 3 consecutive hits in the 7th.
The 22nd, great promotions and giveaways. Call the number on your screen or go to the website for more info. And there's the score, and the big guy in the background has been the story. Let's show you his 7th inning. So Charlie Blackmon, the guy that broke up the no-hitter today, struck him out, got Carlos Gonzalez to pop up to Wilmer Defoe, and then ended the day with some heat to our old friend Ian Desmond and pumped up the whole dugout after he knew he was coming out of the game. That was fun, folks, wasn't it?
Boy, they are having fun. They just started playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game with the top of the 8th coming up. Max Scherzer, brilliant today.
That was on tape, but hey, I'd like to hear it again.
Have you heard about 8 bars?
I think you should sing it every day out the booth like Harry.
Hi.
You should.
Story, McMahon, and Wolters. You know, I know the Nats are up by 4, but let's not solve all the world's problems in one inning.
There's some traditions around here. You should sing it.
Ryan Zimmerman stays in and plays first, so the Nats pitcher is now batting in the cleanup spot. Ryan Madsen, first appearance of this series. Trevor Story 0 for 1 against him. Davey Martinez and Max Scherzer exchanged some greetings at the end of that outing today, Dan.
It wasn't just the one that we showed you, Bob, the hug in the dugout. It was when Max first came off. Davey gave him a really firm handshake and a pat on the back. Another one at another point in the dugout during that half inning with the Nationals batting. Then when Max went down the tunnel yet again, Davey slapping him on the back, telling him great job today, really appreciating his effort.
Bro, they should go to dinner together. I like it. Hey, you're a first-time manager and you take over a ball club that's won 4 to 6 divisions and is used to winning mid-90s every year, and the start doesn't go exactly how you dreamed it up. I'm sure he's feeling a little bit better right now. He knows he's still got some outs to get. But there's a lot of pressure. He's been trying to alleviate that pressure from his players, but I guarantee you he's having trouble sleeping lately.
Yeah. 6 and 8. Max stopped a 5-game losing streak Monday, and if this holds up, he'll stop a 3-game losing streak. Swing and a miss. Madsen. Wieters keeps it close enough and throws it right by the runner down to Ryan Zimmerman. First out, 8th inning. Let's have a look at our minor league report. No better time to act than today from PNC. More make today the day. Adrian Sanchez, we always enjoy watching him play with the energy. Had a walk-off win in the 10th on Thursday, and that is a good young infielder with some surprising pop. There's a third baseman, Ryan McMahon.
So I'm looking at tomorrow's forecast, and there's a 50% chance, a 40% chance at 1 o'clock. So that means there's a 60% chance it won't rain tomorrow. You can't find that kind of analysis anywhere.
That would be the Positive Weather TV channel.
But you can't teach that. You really can't. I think weather is a positive and negative thing. People that don't look at their apps and go, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow, we're never going to play. That's negative. Look at your app. Do your homework. Just walk around being a doomsday guy. Oh, it's going to rain, we'll never play it. They're playing tomorrow. Come to the yard, it's going to be beautiful. They'll be there. She's looking at her app. She knows it's only a 40% chance of showers tomorrow.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to watch Steven Strasburg pitch the way he's going? 1-2 from Madsen. And that ball stung out into right center. Bryce playing way off the line, able to cut it off, but it's deep, and he will hold the runner at first. Ryan McMahon want nothing to do with that, down by 4 runs. Tomorrow, 1:35 first pitch. And the Nats, if they take care of business today behind Strasburg tomorrow, will be looking to split the series. Since last year's All-Star break, Steven is 8-2 with a 1.19 ERA. Tyler Anderson for the Rockies, no record, 5.5 ERA for him. 1 o'clock, Nats Extra, Masson 2. Tony Wolters showed bunt and Ryan Madson spun him around.
On a strike.
Earlier today, he tried to throw his hands and his bat up and sell a 2-0 pitch for a ball on a Scherzer fastball, and that was a strike. And Tad Valleca came in on the double switch. So he's playing first base and batting ninth, barring a double play ground ball.
Tony's 0 for 2 today, but he's been a pest up there.
Wieters keeps it close. Taking Ryan Madson 19 pitches already to get a strikeout, give up a base hit, and now go full on Wolters, the third hitter. Two on. Pat Valleca will face Ryan Madson for the first time. And Derek Lilliquist on his way to the mound.
Now what do you want to do here? Pinch hitter scouting report. Nats with only 4 trips remaining. And there's the signal. That away, Gabe. We bring you to the game at Masson.
Good hustle.
We don't miss anything.
Last year was intentional walks. This year mound visits, and who knows what we'll be tracking next year.
Shot clocks.
That was pretty good jammage right there. A pop fly short left. Trey Turner under it for the second out.
Pitch clocks and hovercrafts bringing in pitchers from the bullpen. That's next.
Matt Grace up. I did have a fan ask me yesterday, how do you score putting a runner at second to lead off an inning in extra innings? I said, I have no idea how I would score that, and I hope I never find out.
Yeah.
I hope it never comes to that. But it's happening in the minor leagues, and some people are wondering, how do you enter that to start an inning?
Yeah, I'm not even going there. I have a lot of thoughts on it. But it's been a great day so far.
Right side. Tifo to his left gets there, spins, finds his target, and takes care of that. And with 15 minutes left in this game, the Nats lead 6-2. I hope. And Michael A. Taylor laying it down. Look at the play by Ian Desmond. Everybody did everything right. Bryce, after being called out, and the Nats challenged, scoring. So he had singled after Defoe. Wieters a base hit. Taylor that bunt. And then Moises Sierra, an exciting double to the gap in right center. Didn't look like there was any way they were going to get him. But Ryan McMahon somehow tagged him on the back of his spikes. The Rockies challenged that safe call, and he was called out. What a frame. A run on 3 hits in the 7th after 4 runs on 5 hits in the 6th. And experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer. Log on to ramtrucks.com. Get to work. Guts Glory Ram. And today what these guys have done in our 8th inning due-up, Chris Russin still pitching for the Rocks.
Glad they rewarded Michael A. Taylor with a hit on that bunt. Did you ever find out? It said 1 for 3 right there.
Yeah, he got a knock, and the Nats have 11 on the day. You know, and he laid down a great bunt. Ian Desmond made a great play. Harper beat it. A lot of things happening, and Michael ended up getting rewarded for a well-placed bunt.
I think Paul Goldschmidt's the only other first baseman in baseball that makes it that close on Michael's bunt.
It'll be a non-save situation for Sean Doolittle in the 9th, but he needs some work with the Nats ahead and a chance to shake hands coming off the mound, because Kinsler, Madsen, and Doolittle have pitched so much lately with the Nats behind. Thanks to Scherzer and Strasburg, they took care of the bullpen on Monday and Tuesday. And we'll see if Max and Steven can do it again Saturday, Sunday. Taylor, first career at bat against Chris Russin. Can't get the fastball up and away. Russin first strikeout after he got that double play ball, and then the pop-up last inning with the bases loaded, nobody out. So here's Sierra. Interesting that both of his doubles have gone the other way.
I'm telling you, man, he lit this crowd up in probably the biggest hit of the day. The big mountain.
First RBIs in the big league since he had 7 with the White Sox in 83 games 4 years ago. Hit .276 for the Sox down the stretch that year. Never got another chance to play in the big leagues until now.
And when you get your second chance, you just appreciate it so much more. You go back to the minor leagues, you're riding buses, you're taking 6 a.m. flights, you're staying in hotels that aren't big league hotels, and then you get your second go around and it just seems so much better the second time.
And a tapper right side. Rutson's just going to stop, and he'll stop, and hi, you're out. 1 unassisted with a tag. 2 down. Matt Reynolds is next.
I'll tell you what, Chris Russon's brave. That's like jumping in front of a bus and hoping the bus will stop. We saw Moises getting it around second. I love the hustle. I don't care if he was out or not. That was fun. And he can hit.
Oh, 2 to Matt, who's 0 for 3 today. Still looking for his first hit as a National. Ryan Zimmerman on deck, bottom 8. And Reynolds up the middle. He'll check in with a hit. And another AB for Ryan Zimmerman. Well taken up the middle by Matt Reynolds.
0 for 3 into a 1 for 4. Equals 8 hours of solid sleep, especially on top of a W if you can get 3 outs.
Ryan Zimmerman is 5 for 8 career against Chris Russon with 3 RBIs. Clean single to right field, pinch hitting for Scherzer. Last time up, Ryan stayed in to play first. So good use of Ryan off the bench today with Anthony Rendon sore with the left foot and Brian Goodwin sore with the left wrist. That one gets away, and Reynolds was on top of that with a secondary lead.
Good read, looking for a ball in the dirt. That's the kind of stuff that the skipper loves. The little things like that, looking for the ball in the dirt. Watch the read by Matt Reynolds. As soon as he sees it in the dirt, see ya.
Three and one. Six-two Nats. Zimmerman with Reynolds at second here, bottom of the 8th. Sean Doolittle ready. Matt Grace also out there.
Talk to all managers. They'd rather be up by 5 than 4 any day. Takes that whole grand slam thing out of the equation.
Yeah, Rockies have 2, 3, 4 coming up in the 9th. Ryan Zimmerman close, and he's on for the second time. Bringing it back around to Trey Turner. One for 2 career against the lefty.
Trey a double last night, hit the ball hard his first time up last night too. Walk on base twice, and today a walk, a stolen base, line out, and a single.
And this one to center for Charlie Blackmon. So the Nats today score 6 runs on 12 hits. Sean Doolittle getting ready for the top of the 9th. Reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
You got to watch out walking around the title basin. Those trees will low bridge you. I've seen people conk their heads right on those branches that go in the water. Serious.
I had no idea it was that dangerous.
It is. You got to wear a helmet.
Sean Doolittle's 7th game. No save at stake here, but he wants to act like it is. Get a 1-2-3 night, shake some hands, and end this 3-game losing streak.
Well, the way the ball club battled today, the vibe in the ballpark in Max's start, it might as well be a save for Sean. And he's thrown that fastball of his, averaging 95 miles an hour, 85% of the time this year.
Only 4 Rockies have faced him, and 3 of them are not in the game right now. Arenado serving the suspension. Ian Desmond double switched out. Chris Iannetta on the bench today. So we'll tell you about the Carlos Gonzalez matchup when that rolls around. Parra 0 for 2 with a walk. That was right in front of the Blackmon first inning home run, and little did the Rockies know that was all the offense they would collect in 7 innings against Max Scherzer, who retired the last 20 after that home run. And Sean working from the first base side of that pitching rubber against the lefty. Perfect fastball outside edge.
You get ahead with fastballs down. This is usually when he pops one up around the letters. Yeah, I don't know if Sean knows, but Metallica's his favorite band. He comes out to For Whom the Bell Tolls, and it's Metallica night when the Nats play the Giants in San Francisco. He'll be thrilled about that if he doesn't know already.
Wow. Sounds like a good night to get a save to me. Fastball jamming the hitter. Outfield to the left. Infield pretty straight up for a left-handed batter. And the count 2-2. Swing and a miss. 96 goes whistling by.
But they're not booing, they're doing. And the fastball away at 96. And a word for Gabe Morales from Gerardo Parra as he goes back to the dugout.
Thinking maybe strike one he didn't like. Who knows? Here's Charlie Blackmon. Scherzer gave up the home run to him, then struck him out twice. He was victim number 8 and 10 in the 4th and 7th innings. Blackmon facing Doolittle for the first time.
I love the Curly W socks, just for the record. Those are strong.
Haven't seen an attendance figure yet for today. Steven Strasburg, Tyler Anderson. Can Strasburg follow up Scherzer for the 2nd time this week? Those guys amazing Monday, Tuesday. Trying to bookend the week. And the 0-2, a swing and a miss at serious heat upstairs.
Then a signature calling card from the doctor, the fastball up. To get a tough out in Charlie Blackmon. That's 1 out away from everybody shaking hands, and that'll feel good.
Carlos Gonzalez career against Sean Doolittle, 0 for 1, a strikeout. That bottle of water will taste like some fine champagne if the Nats wrap this one up. Davey in the ball club looking for a win after losing 3 in a row. And Doolittle back in the strike zone. Chris Iannetta if it goes any farther.
All right, time to make some noise, Nats Park.
They have seen one great home game today. And a fly ball to center. Taylor there. Sean, that thing you do, and the Nats win it. And the losing streak is over on a spectacular day by Max Scherzer.
Yeah, that's what aces do, and that's what true superstars do. They turn things around, and Max Scherzer did just that for his ball club here today.
Nats win it 6-2 with 4 in the 6th, the offensive highlight of the day.